Continuing on, what we're going to do now is we're going to go back and look at the files to see if, in fact, the ballistics memorandum was disclosed prior to trial, as is my constitutional right. First thing we have here is a copy of the affidavit that was submitted by Assistant District Attorney Robert Brazard. He said, trial in this matter was commenced on January 22nd, 2001. All discovered material was presented to the defense. This office received a ballistics report from the Department of Forensic Science in either late December or early January. This was also forwarded. Okay, it's going to be very easy to prove that this is a lie. This is perjured testimony and sworn affidavit. First and foremost, we have the ballistics memorandum itself. It was dated December 20th, the year 2000, Morris Brown. Of course, the results being that a .380 auto caliber weapon bullet was removed in this case. So this is the murder weapon. We also have this document here, July 24th, 2002, which is 18 months after my trial. And it says, Dear Mr. Ray, enclosed are copies of reports that were inadvertently omitted from those sent to you previously. The name of each person who conducted the examination appears in the document. You are only entitled to receive only the reports of the examinations. So, as you all can see, I went to trial January. It's right here. Trial began January 22nd, 2001. I didn't receive this report until June 24th, 2002, 18 months later. This was forwarded to me by Brent Wheeler, Deputy Director. And we also have a third document. This is a transmittal document. January 19th, 2001, to Tim Morgan. And it says, enclosed are the examination of remains and examination of firearms evidence memoranda citing the results of examinations conducted at your request relative to the above case. This letter concludes the activity of our department in this case. Edward White, Forensic Scientist 3. So, real clear here what's going on. It's real clear what's going on in that this report was not forwarded to me. Here are some more filings from the state. It says, petitioner alleges prosecutor misconduct that denied his right to trial. The petitioner alleges that the state failed to disclose exculpatory evidence in the form of ballistic memorandum. 2000. The petitioner has no evidence that the ballistics report was not produced to petitioner through discovery. All right. Well, I do have evidence, and I just showed you some of it. And I'm going to show you some more evidence. During trial, this is examination of one of the state witnesses, and you'll see that he is being cross-examined. Page 533. But sometimes you will see blood spillage left with a 9mm that can be all over the floor, all over the walls. You have seen that. Sometimes, yes, sir. So, would my attorney be cross-examining a witness about a 9mm if he had a document showing that the man was killed with the .380? Chief Medical Examiner, right here. He says, okay, by Mr. Davis. So you agree, Dr. Downs, whoever fired this trigger could have been as close to Andre Horton as at least 1 to 3 feet. That could be in the contact range. So you're excluding the 1 to 3 range. That's correct. Do you know what kind of bullet was found in this case? You can look in your report if it refreshes your memory. It was a medium caliber bullet. And I don't know that I have the firearms examination report in what I have here. Okay, but medium caliber. Medium caliber consistent with the 9mm, yes. Consistent with the .357, Remember, Batts' testimony was that I had two guns, a 9mm 357. Full examination about 9mm 357. We still have not heard a word about a 380 caliber projectile in this case. And so the issue is, why would they refuse to disclose this document? I'm gonna point out something else to y'all in this case. Let me see if I can find it here. This is a court rule, Alabama Rules of Court, Rule 16.1, deals with discovery. And it says, this is what the rule says. This is Rule 16.1, continuing duty to disclose. And this rule states, this is what this rule states. It says, if prior to or during trial, a party discovers additional evidence or decides to use additional evidence, which evidence has been subject to discovery under this rule, that party shall promptly notify the court and the opposing party of the existence of the additional evidence. So, this rule is saying that the prosecutor, after he has provided discovery, he has a continuing duty to continue to disclose. And when new evidence comes available, he must notify. He shall promptly notify the court and the opposing party. So, if he had notified the court and the opposing party that on January 9th, Friday, well, he would not have even received it until Monday, which would have been the day the trial began. So, do you think that the court, the trial attorney, the chief medical examiner, the defense attorney, would have been sitting here while they just found out that the ballistics memorandum was actually just recently disclosed, and they just found this out that day? And I want to point out something about Fred Batts' testimony again. Exhibit N. That's what I'm looking for right now. Let me pull up something. Now, you saw where the rule says that the court must be notified. And you saw earlier where I showed you Batts said that I had two guns, a 357 and a 9mm. You just saw the examination of the witness, the doctor, were consistent with a 9mm, yes. Consistent with a 357, yes. And so, even the court, he says, and he's talking about the same gun that he killed Andre with. And defense attorney Mr. Brazard is testifying more than Mr. Batts to court. He has talked about the guns a number of times. We have that point. You are talking a total of two guns. Yes, sir. So, even the court, under the rule, the court must be promptly notified. And so, if the court was promptly notified, then why is it that the court is even saying, we have talked about the guns a number of times, a 9mm 357, if everyone has just found out that actually the ballistics report says a 9mm? And so my contention is that the prosecutor knew that his witnesses were lying. He knew that there were lies about this cause of death. We've already seen that they lied about where this information came from. First, it came from Batts. Batts denied it. Now they're saying it come from people from the street. We have no idea where this gunshot information came from. We saw the email from the pathologist who performed the original autopsy. You saw what he had to say. And I'm going to show it to you again. He said, your client's first defense team should have realized the game being played and not have allowed it. So that's where we are.